We're going to take a look at some of the commonly used Excel functions. We'll look at the max function, the min, average, sum, count, round, and sum product. What we want to focus on here is the way that a function finds the items that it is going to use to return the values that we desire. The function works with single values or ranges of values or a combination of single value and value ranges. Let's start with the max function. The max function is going to return the largest value in a set of values equals max, and it wants a number or an array of numbers. I'll just give it a straightforward array here. I'll get this column of numbers, and it returns 10. I'm going to go ahead and use the formula text function to show the formulas that I enter in these fields. Now we can also take the maximum value from a series of values. So let's take A7 to A11. Then by typing a comma, we can go ahead and get a single value, maybe another single value, and finally maybe an array of values again, whatever we want, just by separating each value or range of values with a comma. Put my parenthesis in, and it returns the largest value of all the values that I've selected. The min function does the opposite. It's going to return the minimum value in an array of values. Like the max function, the min can handle arrays, comma, individual values, comma, multiple arrays, put in another array, and it will return the minimum value. The average function returns the arithmetic mean for an array of values, adds the values, and then divides by the number of values. And like the previous functions, we can select multiple arrays, individual values, add all of those values, and find their average arithmetic mean. The sum totals the values in an array. Sum can work with single values. An array of values. It's just going to add all of those values up and place the total in the cell. Count counts the non-blank cells in an array. So we can count these, we get 10, but if we count these, we don't get 10 because we have some blanks. And as with the previous ones, we could count that array, comma, this array, comma, and it will total and tell us the number of cells that have values in them. We use the round function to round values a specific number of digits. So first we can enter a value, or we can calculate a value. A lot of times when you do division, you get a continuous decimal 33333 or 66666. Let's take the value here, so the 11, and let's divide that by the value in C12, and let's round that to 2 decimal places. So instead of 8.33333, we just round it off. I'm showing a 3rd decimal place, so you can see that it stops that string of 3s and just rounds it down to a 3. When it rounds, if it's 0.5, it rounds up. So below 0.5, it rounds down. 0.5 and above, it rounds up. Let's go ahead and round another value just to illustrate that. Take, divide that by, and round that to 2 decimal places. And instead of 66666 on, it gives us 0.67 and then stops there, rounding the 6 up to a 7. The last one we're going to look at is the sum product. The sum product takes multiple arrays. In this case, we'll look at 2 arrays. It multiplies the corresponding values and then adds those products together to get a total. It takes the sum of the various products. So let's take sum product. Now I have to give it the 2 arrays, so let's just take these arrays, comma, so to illustrate that, let's go ahead and just multiply these, get the product for each of these values. Show that here. We've multiplied those together. And now we can go ahead and just add them all up. This one plus this one, this one, this one, and that one. That gives us 295, which is the same thing that we got here using sum product. Sum product is much more efficient, especially when you're dealing with a lot of numbers. So those are the basic functions.